Hey, I'm Billy, and I'm here to help. So you're moving, be it across the street, across town, or across country. You're looking at hiring professional movers, and this can be a daunting and stressful task. And with this checklist and with these things in mind, you're going to make this a very smooth and pleasant transition. First and foremost, number one, we want to check license and credentials. You want to make sure your moving company is properly licensed and insured. You also want to make sure that they have a US DOT number. And then depending on your state, you want to check with whatever your particular state's moving licensing entity is and make sure that their number is real, because there's a lot of companies out there that'll just throw numbers on the side of their truck and it's not even them. So you have to actually verify these numbers online. Another good thing to do, read reviews and ask for referrals. That's number two. Look up reviews on Google, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, the social media spots. Ask companies for references from past customers, and be wary of companies that have multiple complaints, and read the style of complaints. Now, granted, a lot of people only post and leave reviews when they have a bad experience. So you have to weed through it, really take a look at it and know who you're working with. Number three, you want to get an in-home or virtual estimate. Any reputable mover worth their salt is going to offer a free, no obligation estimate. Ideally, it's going to be in person, but if you have a basic or small move, something very simple, a lot of times you could do something virtual. But ideally, they get eyes on it, and they should be asking questions about like what kind of access there is for the truck. Is there elevators? Is there lawn carries? Do you have any items of special concern or require special handling? So consider these things, right? Avoid quotes over the phone. You don't want to just let them spit a number at you, because if they're doing that, they're not providing a binding estimate. They're just trying to get in your door and get the move going. And then once they got the move going, then the bill starts ringing up on the hourly services. Make sure they conduct a detailed inventory when they do the survey, so you both are in agreement for what items are to be moved. There could be items that aren't going, there could be items that the whole house is going, and there's a variety of issues in between. So make sure you are very clear with your potential movers what you want moved, and they're going to be able to build their best estimate off of that based on the services that you're looking to have them perform. Understand, number four, understand pricing and avoid hidden fees. Ask for an estimate, and find out if it's binding or non-binding. Binding means that you are paying that set price no matter what for that move, provided none of the variables change. Non-binding is just an estimate. It could go anywhere from there. It could go up or down. Most of the time it goes up. So keep that in mind. Understand extra charges, again, like I said, for stairs, elevators, lawn carries, special items, bulky items, things that require special handling or additional special materials such as crating. Find out if there's any fees for packing materials, fuel surcharges, or last minute changes. Sometimes if, moving, you have to change your move date. Some companies will charge you a heavy penalty. A worthwhile company will do their best to work with you because they understand the situation. Number five, you want to ask about insurance and valuation coverage. Most movers will offer two types of coverage. Basic coverage should be built into every move, which is 60 cents per pound per item. Now, what that means is regardless of the value of the item, to you, say it weighs 100 pounds, you'll get up to $60 to repair or replace that item regardless of what its actual perceived value is. Now, they will have another option for full value protection, and the cost varies on that based off the size of the shipment and what deductible you choose. Usually it goes from $0 deductible. I've seen them all the way down to a $10,000 deductible, depending on the size of the move, and on some corporate moves it gets even higher than that. So really look at your paperwork and know what you're paying for when you pay for that additional valuation, but it is a good peace of mind. And something to keep in mind is you can also consider third-party valuation or insurance, which you could possibly get through your homeowner's renter's insurance or just look up online and see if there's a reputable entity that is providing a lower cost option there. Number 6, know the difference between a broker and a carrier. My suggestion is to always work with a carrier. Carrier is the actual moving company that's going to be moving your goods. It's going to say the same name on the side of the truck, on the paperwork, on the cruise shirts, on the business cards. Now, sometimes there'll be 2 names. A lot of reputable moving companies, even like the one I work for, McCarthy, we're McCarthy Moving and Storage, or McCarthy Movers, and we're also National Van Lines. What that is the McCarthy name is our local name, and we've been in business since 1919, the oldest moving company in San Diego. And then we are an agent for National Van Lines, which is essentially like a franchise network that gives us access to other professional movers to help us perform this task across the country, around the world. Make sure you know who you're working with, because the other option is the brokers, and we've just seen these come up in the last few years, and they're essentially a middle person. What they do is they'll come in and give you a low cost, normally a non-binding estimate, charge a high deposit, which they keep, and then they sell the move on top of that to the lowest bidder. So there's no quality of service there. You don't know who you're going to get. You don't know if you're even going to get an actual mover. I could show you countless photos and tell you countless horror stories about where people went with brokers because they thought they were saving money, and it did not go well. And then I'm getting calls the day of, they're not here, they kept my money, or they came and loaded, I can't find them, they've never showed up, or they've showed up and now they're trying to charge 3 times as much and they won't deliver my stuff until I pay them the money. So you have to really watch out. The moving industry is heavily regulated on paper, but there's not a lot of people enforcing the rules besides the people who just want to do good work and want to provide quality of service. And that goes back to looking at the reviews and knowing who you're really working with. The only time I could ever suggest possibly using a broker is if you don't have items that you really care too much about and you're just trying to get stuff moved and you want the cheapest option possible. It might work, but really in the end, what you might be think you're saving up front could cost you in broken, lost, or damaged items and time. You know, your time is the most important thing. So keep this all in mind, okay? Ask about experience and services. How long have they been in business? Like I said, us, 1919, oldest moving company in San Diego. And you want to work with a reputable company. Here in San Diego alone, there's over 250 moving companies. In the next 3 to 5 years, over half of them will be gone. They just come and go, try and get the work going, and you never know who you're working with in that case. You want to find out what kind of work they specialize in. Do they specialize in local, long distance, or international moves? Commercial, industrial, office moves? A moving company worth their weight will cover all the bases there. They'll be able to perform pretty much every one of those types of moves. And that's the type of mover I would suggest working with. Another thing is you want to know what types of services they offer. Do they offer packing, storage? Do they move specialty items such as pianos, antiques, bulky, high-value machinery, vehicles? These are all things to consider. Know before you go. Number 8, de ocho. Get everything in writing. Review your contract and make sure everything is very detailed before you sign anything. You want to review your bill of lading and do the same. Make sure everything is very detailed before you sign anything. Ensure your contract, like I said, and your bill of lading is very clear on pricing, services, pickup and delivery dates, and really do not sign any blank or incomplete documents. Number 9, confirm delivery windows and timelines. Understand the estimated delivery dates and the potential delays. Ask about compensation for late deliveries and get a written agreement on delivery timelines. For example, with us, depending on how large your shipment is and where it's going in the nation, we will give you a delivery window, a window of days that your items will be delivered. And we hit that window 99.9% of the time. Some companies are not that good at that. So you want to be aware of that, because I know you want your stuff and you have to get back to work and you need your stuff to get your kids in school. So really know your pickup dates and your delivery dates. And I suggest calling when it's 2 weeks out. Make sure, are we still on? When it's a week out, call the company. Are we still on? When it's 3 days out, are we still on? And vice versa. Confirm with them that you still want that day. You haven't had any changes or had anything move. And normally the company is going to be right on point with this, but you just want to, there's no going back if they don't show up. So cover all your bases. Be aware of the moving scams. Like I said, these are some of the red flags that I've already mentioned, but I'm going to mention them here again. A company requiring a large deposit up front. Most reputable movers will not require more than 10%. And a lot of times it's only like $100 and it's 100% refundable. And if you do provide any kind of deposit, make sure it is 100% refundable. Watch out for companies giving suspiciously low estimates. If it's too good to be true, well, your answer's right there. And again, what you might be saving up front, you might be paying later. So always keep that in mind. Watch out for companies that do not have any physical address and they do not have any trucks that are marked with their company names. If they're just using rental trucks and who knows, flatbed trailers or dump trailers, not stuff you want your valuables to go into. Watch out for movers demanding more money again on the unloading. This is a very common thing if you don't have your binding or not to exceed estimate. That is my preferred estimate. The not to exceed estimate means we're not going to go over this price, and it could be less if we use less materials. And because it's normally either by the hour or by the weight, we require less hours to actually perform the task, or there's less weight there when we weigh the items moving. Keep all that in mind. Prepare for moving day. Label all your boxes clearly, and you don't want to label them on the top, because once you stack your boxes, you can't read the labels. You want to label them optimally on two opposing sides. That way, regardless of which side the moving crew sees your box from, they can see where it's going and they can get it into that room correctly for you at destination. Keep all your important documents, your jewelry, your firearms, your purse, your personal items, everything that you're going to need while your stuff is being transported, while you're in transit, traveling, whatever you're doing. Make sure you have that all separated in a special spot where the movers aren't going to get it mixed with anything when they're packing or when they're loading the truck, and so that you have that ready and available to you. Again, on move day, verify that it's the moving company that you hired. Should say it on the side of the truck, should say it on the shirt, should say it on the paperwork, and make sure the trucks and crew match what was prescribed in your contract for your estimate. By following these simple tips, you're going to prevent and avoid stress and scams and ensure that you have a smooth moving experience. Now, if you'd like help with this, I am a professional, global relocation and logistics expert. And on top of that, I'm a circadian, lifestyle, and home services expert. And I would happily share my services with you. Reach out to me at billycanhelp.com. Or if you'd like to email me, billycanhelpyou@gmail.com. I will have this list in basically a worksheet checkoff form along with some of the other items that you want to check off as you're getting ready to move, as you're in the move process, and once you reach destination. For example, the items that you want to make sure you have with you, what moving companies can't move. It'll all be in there. It'll be on a PDF worksheet attached to this video. Look for it. Thanks for watching. There's going to be more to come. All the best to you. I hope this helps. Thank you. Be good.